A very good day to all of you out there. This is Admav here with another episode of Admav's Corner. As always, I hope you're all doing well and that this past week has been, at the very least, okay for you. I myself am feeling pretty exhausted. The last few days at work have been pretty hectic. My job, we handle pharmaceuticals and whatnot, and we shipped out a lot of vaccines to a lot of stores the past few days, and more than we usually ship, actually. I'm not sure why, but I think it's because, I don't know, I haven't really kept up with COVID news as of late. But I did hear that there was a new variant, and so they may be preparing for that. Maybe a little bit of a spike in cases. And I think here as well, they have approved the vaccine for younger people. So there's going to be more, or I assume there's going to be more boosters. I misspoke also. It's not the vaccine that they approved for younger people. It's the booster, which is still a vaccine, but I didn't, Anyways, yeah, no, I mean, I haven't been up for that long. I just woke up like maybe an hour and a half ago-ish or something. Slept in. It's 2:00 in the afternoon, so just really tired. Just really, one box or a package that has the vaccines in it is pretty heavy, so I lifted that like hundreds of times yesterday. So I'm just beat. I'm exhausted. But I decided to try out recording my podcast, just waking up, just because I've already been having thoughts about what I was going to talk about today in the past week. So yeah. Other than that, I'm doing well. I'm still doing my thing. And actually, I want to talk about the song that I've been listening to recently. By this, she's popular for sure. She's a popular artist, but I feel like she's still very much underappreciated and perhaps underrated. This artist from Indonesia named Nikki. She released a single recently called Oceans and Engines. A beautiful song. Just, I don't know how else to describe it. It's beautiful. It's sad, but it's not just sad, because it's also bittersweet, because the song is about honoring a lost love and having to say goodbye and accepting that things are over, but in a good way, where you still sort of, let yourself go through the process of grieving the loss of somebody that was a part of your life, and then all of a sudden not being a part of your life anymore. But doing so with grace and patience for yourself, and being able to properly say goodbye and letting go. And it just made me think about that. Having, the ability to let go. It's not easy to let things go. And some people live their entire lives not letting go of things, And, letting go, it's not strictly within the realm of relationships and dating and love and all that either. It's a lot of other things. And I've had to learn lessons in letting go in the past 4 years, because if you've listened to my past few podcasts, I focus on relationships that I've been involved in, and I definitely had to learn to let go of a lot of those. And the process hasn't been easy, and there are just some things that are going to be a part of your history forever, and so you're going to have to let that go too and accept that, because letting go is just not the act of, releasing something. Because that is what it is. It is letting go of something, whatever it is, like baggage, emotional baggage, mental baggage, and that's not always easy, because you have to process, the emotions and the thoughts all of that. You have to process all of that in order to get to a point where you're actually able to let go of things. But it also has to come with acceptance. You have to be able to let go and accept the things for the way that they are. And yeah, like I've been saying, it's not very easy to do that, because in order to even get to a place where you would consider, or where you're able to actually consider letting go, there's a lot of processing internally that you have to get through. You know, and this isn't a blanket statement, because for some people it might be easier for them to let go. Maybe it's just because they have a different process, but in my experience, it can be very challenging, especially if the thing you're letting go of, you're really close to and attached to, whether it's a relationship, an idea, or a stance that you've had. In my case, obviously, it was about relationships, and that's the thing about letting go. It's accepting things for the way they are. And sometimes you don't get, like, for example, in my case, in a relationship, sometimes you don't get the closure that you wish you could get. You don't get the final answer. You don't get things that tie everything up. You know, there's loose ends, and it doesn't feel right. And that's what causes you to go into this, you know, circle of this cycle of depression and sadness and anxiety, and sometimes even lamenting the past, because you're unable to let go. You still have to process those things, and sometimes you're just never going to get those answers. You know, you're never going to get closure. It happens. There's actually a line in Oceans and Engines that I really love, and you know, Nikki was great enough to, you know, observe this in her experiences with her relationships, and, you know, convert it into lyrics for a song. Or I'll just read this part of the song right here. This is the bridge. Now, what do you do when your pillar crumbled down? You've lost all solid ground, and this void's all you've found, and doubts lighted aglow. I have so many questions, but I'm pouring them into the ocean, and I'm starting up my engine. I love this sequence in the song. I love this part in the song. This part of the bridge. Yeah, she talks about having those questions and feeling empty, and nowhere to go to find the answers or to find closure to these things. And the best thing is to let them go. And she expresses that by, you know, metaphorically pouring them onto the ocean, while, you know, starts up her engine and drives away, forever leaving that behind and just appreciating the past for what it is. You know, this is a sentiment I've held, that the past that you've shared with somebody, you know, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship or whatever have you, those times where you enjoyed the moments with that person, unless like time travel becomes a thing, but even then, I don't think the laws or the time travel laws will be exactly as we've been imagining them to be in movies and stuff. But before I digress further, what I was going to say is that those moments will always be yours, between you and that person. That person will also have those moments. They happened. They were real. The joy that you felt, the love that you felt, all the other things that you felt with this person, they were real. And that point in your history and their history will forever be a part of you guys. And that'll never change. And you can always appreciate that, you know, even if you maybe don't have love for this person anymore. There was a point where that existed. And it's okay to remember that and to feel what it was like then. And to appreciate that, because that all contributed in your journey as a person. And for you to be able to let go, like I've been saying over and over again so far, it's hard to let go of things, right? But one of the things that helps, I think, with letting go is being able to stay in the present, to be living in the present. Mindfulness, just focusing on the here and the now. And that's hard for people who have, intrusive thoughts and who are very anxious and think about the future too much, or people who are, depressed. They think about the past too much, they get stuck. And I know how both feels because I experienced both to varying degrees. And being able to be better at appreciating the moment, focusing on the moment, being in the moment, being mindful of the moment has helped me a lot more, because the past are things that you've done, that you've experienced, and are part of your history. And you can take lessons from that and move forward. And the future is just not something that you can predict. And, you got to have to try to understand that, even though sometimes it still gets away from you. So being in the moment is the best thing that we can do. We have to focus on the now, try to do our best now, because now is what we're experiencing. We are experiencing it in real time. We have to learn to appreciate that, and to be able to do that, you have to try to really realize what you have around you, what you have in your life, the people that you have, the things that you have. And with me, it's definitely my family, first and foremost. I love my family and always will. They've been there for me throughout my entire life. And also my group of friends who I pretty much consider my family. They're my extended family. I mean, I'm not, it's not that I'm a picky person when it comes to choosing friends, but I really have to try to get a feel for you first before, like, I put my trust in you. But when I'm able to gauge that and feel that you're a good friend, then you have me for life, basically. I'm an extremely loyal friend. These group of friends of mine, which I'm so grateful to have, I'm so lucky. With a majority of them, I've been friends with them for 2 decades, basically. And I would not change a thing. These people are the salt of the earth. They're mine and I'm theirs. And we'll always have each other in each other's lives, even though, we might get busier in the future, or maybe some of us move away to another province or maybe even another country. It doesn't matter, because we're always tied by this bond. And I'm so grateful for that. And the fact that I feel this joy and this gratefulness to have these special people in my life really helped in my process of letting go of things whenever I ran into them, especially my previous relationships, because I had my friends there to talk to and to lean on, and they helped me through the process. And they were just as much family to me as my own family in some cases. And that helped me live in the present more and to appreciate these people more. And they also remind me of what I bring. They also remind me of how valuable I am, how important I am. And then I remember and realize that I do bring something meaningful to this world. And so, just for at least a few minutes today, try to take some time to reflect on the life that you've got. Because I'm sure you can find a light in the dark somehow if you do feel like you're living in the dark. And I'm sorry to those who are not able to see that there might be some light in their lives, which I'm sure that there is something. And if you're feeling that, I'm sorry, and I feel for you. And I'm not sure if I could be some kind of light in that dark, But at the very least, I want you to know that you are not alone, and that I hear you and I feel for you. And like I've always been saying in previous podcasts, just if you want to talk about anything, leave a comment or message me directly on my channel. I'd love to just chat for even a bit or something, because I really mean it when I say you're not alone in this. Even if you feel like you have no friends to support you or even no family to support you, there are people that will care about you, that do care about you. And so, I say this sincerely and knowing how hard it could be sometimes, but hang in there. You are good. You bring something good to this world. So live it and enjoy the present moment. Have a good weekend, everyone. Be safe. Be well. Take care.